Vegas. They are done with the NBA Cup, losing in the quarterfinals. Spurs had great energy from start to finish on both ends of the floor in this game. As we take a look at the bracket, the Spurs will play OKC in the semis on Saturday. The New York Knicks will play the Orlando Magic. The following Tuesday will be the finals. So the Lakers' next game will be against the Phoenix Suns on Sunday. And guys, the Spurs were dominant in LA, and every time LA had a little sign of life, the Spurs went on a 16-4 run to end the first, a 4-0 run to push it to 12 to end the second, and started that third quarter with a 6-0 run on 2 quick threes to get it to 18. 17 threes for the Spurs. They shot 45%, 7-8 guys in double figures, plus 12 from the free throw line, 27 fast break points, 48 bench points, all Spurs.
Yeah, it seemed like every category they were able to pretty much dominate. I mean, without Wemby, you can see that they're trying to build around him. And without him, you see the talent that they do have possible for when Wemby comes back. I just thought the three ball was available whenever they want. They got a lot of them in transition. A lot of them were uncontested, and they knocked them down, Geeter. And you have to give your hats off to these guys. Castle, I mean, he's a hell of a player. He had, 30 tonight on 10 of 14 shooting and 3 of 6. Vessel, I mean, these guys can play. The bench played well for them. I got to give them credit. Lakers is just a little step slow. They just never initiated any kind of dominance from the beginning. And in the third quarter, when they came out and hit those like 2 threes in a row, and I think it was like a 10-0 run right away, it was just uphill battle from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every time I turned around, it seemed like San Antonio was throwing a punch. They threw the first punch, and they also countered. Like, to start the game, to start that third quarter, you know, Lakers had a chance to cut it before the half, to cut it to like 6.
Yeah,
they're
awesome backdoor.
It's like, oh, you know, got it to 12, which is not bad for a half. But you thought that third quarter, if they can cut it, get the first timeout called by San Antonio by getting a 6-0 run, it'd make it a game. But it went the other way. Stephon Castle went in, hit a 3, got an easy layup, got a pull-up, another in mid-range in the paint, and then they went up 19. And then from there, it just seemed like San Antonio was never in danger of losing this game, just how the game was going. And it came from the three-point line of how well they shot it. You know, Champagnie, Keldon Johnson, Stephon Castle, even Fox. You know, they did things, you know, inside and out, but transition. And the biggest key or challenge for this Lakers team is to keep up with these young teams that are out and running and also shooting from the perimeter. If Marcus Smart doesn't get hot in this game is a very different outlook all across the board. You know, right now it looks like they just lost because of free throws.
But it's much different than that.
It's much different than that. Austin didn't get to free throw line as much. Luka didn't get to free throw line as much. Bron as well. So, but it was a way different game than that. The numbers aren't telling the whole story. And Marcus Smart got hot. Don Connett hit one. So that's 9 threes right there, which would have made a huge difference in the outcome of the game for them hitting 16 for the game. Which is not really the story of the Lakers. You
know, Stephon Castle, you guys have both mentioned him. What a talent he is. Former Rookie of the Year. 30 points. But the efficiency, 10 of 14, the 3 of 6, the 10 rebounds, the 6 assists, but also just a dog on defense. Plays tough on both ends, fast, athletic, strong, a good jumper. Like, he has got an all-around game. This is a very dangerous team. They are young, James. They got length. They can all shoot, and they were fast tonight, and Castle led the way.
Youth with confidence and discipline makes for a pretty tough young team, and that's what they showed tonight. They showed discipline, they showed they were tough, and they are young, and they had the energy to sustain for 4 quarters. I thought that showed really in the third quarter. They came out and jumped on them in the third quarter as if they were down, 15 points. And I just kind of saw that they had the Lakers number tonight, even though the Lakers tried to fight back, but they're young, Geeter. They got some good players. Even the center that plays well for them.
Yeah, Cornette.
He's not flashy, but he's in the way. He sets picks. He disrupts. And their bench. Johnson coming in with 17 points. Champagnie 16. So they're solid. There's no weaknesses with this team when they get Wemby back. Boy.
Yeah, I mean, like the Lakers without LeBron, this team does not have Wemby. This is the 12th straight game, but they are doing more than survive. Won 6 of 8.
Again, like Big Game was saying, they have a lot of depth, and they've shown discipline. Shout out to Mitch Johnson. He's done a great job with that group, finding ways to not only win, but do some great things with their star player being out. And defensively, I got to give them a lot of credit. Even though Lakers scored 119, again, that score to me doesn't show the real story of it. They relied a lot on Marcus Smart, who averages 9 points a game, had 26 tonight. and their scout report was, let him shoot, make him beat us, and he got them back in the game. But everybody else, their length with keeping Austin Reaves under wraps, not fouling him, keeping Luka off the free throw line, even though he still had his average 35. So their defensive schemes of playing and not fouling really made it tough on guys like Austin Reaves tonight, and also not LeBron, but Luka more so, like keeping him slow within reach. He wasn't, even though he has 35, it didn't seem like it was that impactful.
And Rui, same thing. Rui didn't lack, he was
four
shots.
shots.
He did hit 2 or 3.
1 rebound
from his threes, but just not there tonight.
Stephon Castle, for you, Danny, you were talking about him before the game. I mean, so much will be focused on Wemby when he's healthy and De'Aaron Fox because they are the big two. But Stephon Castle, what
He's
a fit.
in there. With the depth they have a big four. Like with all the people, you got Kellen Johnson off the bench.
He had 17.
Vassell, Champagnie, Jeremy Sohan didn't even play tonight, but Harrison Barnes filled it up from 3.
Yes.
They make up for another superstar, but Stephon Castle has come alive, and this is a breakout year for him. He could definitely be considered a part of that big 3. He's started out as a defender because he's so great. His reflexes, his reaction, he's really good with sliding his feet and getting in front of guys. He's a great athlete. Now offensively, he's really taking his time and slowed down the game for himself. Finishing pivots, getting assists, not only just scoring, but playing a good floor game. If he's hitting threes, it's going to be a really tough night for you. And tonight, he was hitting jumpers. He was in the paint. He defensively, even De'Aaron Fox, picked Austin Reaves a couple times. Champagnie, Vassell, they're getting up and guarding and making them feel you. For this San Antonio Spurs team to not only play defense, but score 132 points without Wemby, they show a lot of promising potential for the future.
Yeah, we'll talk about how they attack the Laker defense that has been struggling in the next block. A wild stat for you. The Lakers are 17-7. Only 7 losses, but all 7 losses have been by double digits. Time to hear from Coach JJ Redick, brought to you by your Toyota dealers.
JJ, it seemed like you got off to a relatively decent start. Where did you see things flip when the Spurs went on that big run, kind of end of first and then through the second?
Just didn't do a good job of getting back in transition.
Anything else stand out either side of the court as they built the lead up before you were able to claw back in a couple times?
I mean, there's a lot of things that stood out. I think being able to contain the basketball is probably the most difficult thing for our team right now.
I assume, is there a magic bullet solution to ball containment, or is this going to be a marginal improvement in 6 or 7 different areas it's going to take to figure this out?
Yeah, I think you can get better at that. You can get better with our shifts. I mean, there's the things that help you win on the margins we're just not very good at right now. And we got to ask a little bit more of everybody. We don't crash. We can't force a lot of turnovers. We did a terrible job at the end of the first quarter and the second quarter of end of quarter stuff. So that immediately we're behind the 8 ball there. And if a team we're going to be really in trouble. Before the game, we talked about just sort of the nature of like overreaction and stuff like that. When you guys have had losses, like it has felt like a lot of the weaknesses are like really highlighted. Is that how you felt as you kind of like, it's like, this is everything that's wrong with us, and it kind of shows up? Yeah, but a lot, I mean, teams have, there's, very few teams don't have something that you can expose. And, we've consistently got exposed at the same things.
Marcus, the shooting was one thing, but just what did he bring defensively that you guys really maybe have missed in the last few games since he's been gone, especially in the second quarter?
I think he came in with a lot of energy, couple, sort of rush possessions offensively, but in terms of the try and care factor defensively, definitely had it, and then was able to make some shots in the second half.
Obviously, Marcus' output was encouraging as far as the rest of the bench. Like, none of those guys got multiple shots. Like, what more do you want to see with given you having a full deck outside of Maxey? What more do you want to see from those other guys to help complement your starters better?
Jake played 8 minutes. Gabe got 1 shot. we've had a couple of these games, Rui included, tonight getting 4 shots. It was similar in that way to like the Phoenix game where they're playing in a deeper drop and sort of forcing Luka, AR to shoot those non-rim paint twos, not putting 2 on the ball and not having to rely on the low man because they've got Luke Cornett and Mark Williams. So there's no, weak side stuff. So, in terms of starting the blender, that's the coverage that, kind of allows teams to play 2-on-2 against us. Had a little success with Stack in the first half. We got to figure that out for sure.
JJ, it seemed like through the first 3 quarters, nothing was really coming easy for Austin. What did you see from him tonight in terms of how he's trying to manufacture things for himself and the team?
Yeah, I mean, look, the reality is the guy's carried us for 6 weeks, and that takes a toll on you. And he kept fighting, and I appreciate that. But he's going to have a lot more great nights than frustrating nights.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
There's much else to compete with there.
No, he's the only one in the race.
Vince, yeah, they weren't dunking on people as much.
LeBron James, he's speaking to the media with Mike Trudeau.
LeBron, JJ mentioned that the kind of on-ball, perimeter defense has been a thing throughout the season. And where do you think that can get better, and what needs to happen for the team as the season goes on?
5 guys being on the string. I mean, obviously, can't do it, individually, by yourself. It has to be 5 guys on the string. Communication, always at an all-time high. Letting you know what's going on behind you and things of that nature. Obviously, I mean, it's a unique team. They got 6 guys that can literally, 6 or 7 guys that can break you down off the dribble. Super fast, super quick. Some of them are stronger, some of them are faster, some of them are quicker, ball handlers. So, unique team, and they definitely, got the best of us tonight.
He also mentioned the defensive coverage is maybe a little bit similar to how Phoenix played, where they're keeping the big and the deep drop and kind of encouraging those two. As you guys get more, reps, which you haven't had a ton of altogether this year, what are some of the ways to dissect that?
I think we did a great job in the second half with it. I think obviously Marcus coming in and really playing that position. They was guarding with the 5 a lot, and he finally started to get his rhythm. And just we was knocking him down, so that was a bright spot for us.
When you got this dunk, did you think that was going to give you guys the spark to kind of keep them going forward, or was it just a moment in time?
No, it's just a play. You always wish, you hope that momentum plays will carry over. And I mean, that was a moment where we had an opportunity. We had 2 straight turnovers after that, and went from an 8-point game to a 12-point game to end the half. So we did have some momentum going into the halftime, and then started the third. We went back down 20.
Seemed like that small ball group you guys had in the fourth. You guys cut it into the deficit again. What did you see from that group, and what did you like from that?
No, we was playing uphill too long. So we had some good moments, but for the majority, we playing uphill too much.
I think you liked playing the Cup tournament.
Say it again?
You liked the format of the Cup tournament, not playing for the championship. I mean, how bummer is that for you?
I don't care. I mean, Cup, no Cup. I love playing basketball, so it doesn't give me extra excitement to playing or not playing. I think it's just great, to have a moment. I mean, if it is what it is, so I love just going out and competing.
LeBron, you guys had some of the similar sort of on-ball containment issues.
Say it again?
You had similar on-ball containment issues last year.
Yeah.
And then right around Christmas or so, it felt like your defensive energy and voice really picked up, and that's when the team's defense sort of came together. Do you feel like that's something you're capable of again, and is that what's going to be needed of you?
Yeah, I mean, it's still young in the season for us, and we're going to continue to get better. I think defensively, we understand that on-ball attack is very important, but first getting back in transition, we can't give up a lot of transition points as we did tonight, and then being able to contain guys off the dribble. So we will continue to get better with that, more film, more communication, like I said, and just, ultimately just helping each other out.
2 years ago when you guys made it to Vegas and won it in the Cup, you kind of cautioned that team still had a long way to go, and it's not necessarily an indicator of what you could do months down the line. Losing here and not making it to Vegas, where do you think you guys are at in terms of the long-term goal of being able to compete in the playoffs and deep into the playoffs?
It's December what? Are you talking about the playoffs? Nah, I can't do that. It's not okay. Not my mindset. I can't think about what we can do in the playoffs in December. What I can say is that, the habits that we built throughout the regular season each month if we are in a position to make it to the postseason and be able to get to that point, well, we have to build it now. So, but as far as talking about what type of damage we can do in the postseason in December, it's not right for the basketball gods, not for me.
Obviously, you want to play in every game, but does a little bit of added rest benefit you long term?
For me, yeah, of course.
You guys typically are on the positive end of free throw disparity. What did you kind of think of that tonight? Did you feel like you guys were fouling too much?
Yeah, I mean, we had some times where we fouled. We had some uncharacteristic fouls. We had some couple times where we was stripping at the ball, not showing our hands. We had a couple times where we, fouled in transition, whatever the case may be. There was a couple plays where I could have went, one or the other way, but that's that's the name of the game right there. Sometimes you get the whistle.
55th. Here's Marcus Smart at the podium.
Marcus, you've been out a few weeks. Just how did you feel physically out there, and what do you hope that you were able to bring to this team?
You out for a while. That win, trying to get your wins, a little tough, but got going a little bit. Felt good. The back felt really good. Body felt good. I just wanted to bring a little spark for us. Try to do the best of my ability. And sometimes you can do that and have games like this where you don't win. So, but all in all, everything for me felt good. Wish the outcome was different.
Defensively, where do you think this team is right now, especially after this game? This is a pretty difficult matchup just with how young and athletic this team is, the Spurs are.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just, right now, we're obviously, we haven't been where we wanted to be. Coming back from the East Coast, long trips. We just got to refocus, got to recalibrate. Right now, we're kind of droggy. And we're seeing it out there. We feel it as players, the coaching staff, and I'm sure the fans feel it too. But yeah, we just got to recalibrate, and that's really it. We're going to get it together, but right now we're trying to find it and trying to find where we need to go.
So, Marcus, I've seen you hit 11 threes in a game before. This season you came in 25%. Like, what made you feel, what was different about tonight where you was able to hit 8 threes compared to the other games that we saw so far this season?
For me, I just continue to work, and I trust the work that I'm putting in, and I continue to put in that. Eventually shots are gonna fall. I can't control whether the shot goes in or not. All I can do is control how I prepare, and that's to make the shot. And I've been doing it, everything right. Tonight was a night for me, and hopefully that starts, a trend for me to start making some shots consistently.
Marcus, you had 26 points tonight off the bench, but the bench scoring was kind of a problem the rest of the way. What can be done to kind of get the rest of the guys going and get more consistent production from the reserves?
It's tough out there. We got a lot of great guys that can score the ball and make plays. So I guess for us as the bench guys, we just got to find our way within those parameters that we have. And try to find, those shots. It's tough, but we got to find a way.
Hey, Marcus, they kind of made spurts there, to jump out ahead, and you guys come back and they jump out ahead again. What did you see out there that kind of helped them make those runs?
For one, I lack of communication. This team does a really good job, when it comes to in the open court and transition, and they got one of the fastest players in the league with Fox. So we just didn't do a good job of getting back and communicating with one another, and we got to fix that. That's going to be key for us. When we can get people in the half court, set our defense, it makes it easier on us. When we got to get out and run and chase from behind, it makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, so you hear Marcus Smart talking about how he feels coming back, big game, and he felt good health-wise, and it was nice to have that offensive game. Hates to see it in a loss. Talked about the defense, where they need to be better in that half-court set, also getting out and running a little bit more. So all those things from Marcus, and he looked good out there.
Yeah, he did, Gita, coming back healthy. I think, we always look for good defense sparks from him. Tonight it was the offense. He did some defense too, but I think what he brings, Gita, is just experience and lead by example. He almost shot him back into this game tonight with those threes. They were looking for him. They got it down to, 12 or so, and all because of this shot right here. When he's hitting it, he's dangerous. So, but I think his leadership and his defense and what he brings on that end is contagious, and I think he's going to, be the leader for the team locker room and on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, this was a great coming back moment for him. He looked really good tonight, and a game like this can only make your injuries feel even better. You know, you play well, you shoot well. I'm sure that back is feeling like, oh, the adrenaline. But this is also a confidence booster for Marcus Smart for the rest of the season, because the scouting report on him for most teams is to make him beat you from three. And for him shooting 25% coming in tonight from three to hitting 8 threes tonight, it makes it a big jump, but also gives him confidence to make that shot that most teams are leaving him open, which makes the Los Angeles Lakers a more dynamic team, and it's harder to double Luka, it's harder to double AR, and they have to, makes the defense more honest. They have to play them more honest with Marcus Smart that can shoot the ball from the three-point line.
A nice little break. Get a few days off, get some practices in, then you head to Salt Lake City, play the Jazz, come home, day off, play the Clippers in LA, but at their arena. At Phoenix Suns on the 23rd. A lot of home games for Bergen. And then it's Christmas in LA. 5 p.m. Rockets. Here's Austin Reaves with Mike Trudell.
Austin, for this game specifically, kind of the way that San Antonio is playing defense, JJ mentioned, is a little bit similar to the coverage that Phoenix used, like keeping the big real deep in the drop, and almost encouraging you and Luka to take those tough, deep paint twos. You're going to see Phoenix again Sunday. Where can you guys grow a little bit, and did you feel like you started to solve that a little bit in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I feel like we just played better in the fourth quarter. I think it's we know what we need to do. We just got to execute it.
Defensively, the other thing that seems to come up a lot is just the on-ball defense as a team. LeBron said it's got to be 5 guys on a string, and there can be growth there. But what did you see tonight in terms of the on-ball defense?
Just had to be better. Like LeBron said, you got to guard. There's so much talent in this league. You got to guard everybody with 5 people. So just had to be better.
Austin, I know it's early in the season, but how are you feeling physically right now?
Good, yeah.
Are you aware that you carried a big load for the team and maybe it's taking a little bit of a toll on you, or is it just missing shots right now?
Nah, I mean, just didn't get the ball to go in the basket.
Coming into the night, I think you guys were ranked 27th in opponent field goal percentage from 3, and then they hit 17. Tonight shot 45% or something like that. Do you feel like that's been a problem area that you guys have been trying to work on all year, or has it been like fits and starts where it's looked good and then kind of slipped back to being more of a weakness?
I mean, if we're 27th, it has been a strength, so we'll have to get better in that aspect. Yeah, I mean, teams make shots against us. We had to make them not make shots.
How critical was that stretch at the end of the first half? Brown had that dunk, cut it to 8, but then a couple turnovers, a couple buckets, pushed it to 12 at intermission.
It just wasn't good for us. That's a hell of a play by a 41-year-old man. Impressive, but it didn't. I don't know. It wasn't good for us. It was 12. We lost.
For you guys, big picture defensively, just based on like the personnel in this room, it's going to have to be, it seems like, a team-based approach. I guess, where are you guys at in that process? How much more room for growth do you feel like there is when it comes to defensive continuity and understanding and reliability on one another?
I think there's a lot of room for growth, especially, like Dave said, 27th, and what is it, Phil? 3 Yeah, so that's a weakness we got to get better at, and the spirit's still high in here. We know we can do it, but like you said, we have to be a group that guards with 5 people, and once again, like Bron said, we got to be on a string and no rotations, and just play hard on that.
2-1-19. Danny Green, you're going to break it down. It's not going to be as fun as the pregame show, but you're still going to the wall.
We talk about the good plays, we're going to talk about the bad. This one was a bad night, and it starts with plays like this. These plays cannot happen. They're cancerous, and they can trickle into your energy and start off bad. Right here is a box out, free throw line box out. This is simple. We're supposed to have 2 guys on the side where Luka should have help. These guys should be boxing out the shooter. They don't do that. Dylan Harper walks free, gets in an easy layup, gets his own rebound, finishes. That's a 3-point play that should not happen. Another possession here, they're driving to the paint. Dylan Harper does a great job of making the defense collapse. LeBron and Jake LaRavia are playing now 3 guys. San Antonio Spurs kind of fan out. You get a swing. Keldon Johnson, who hit a 3 already, is now wide open with Jackson Hayes trying to do a Luke Cornett closeout from 3. Wide open shot, knockdown. They did a great job moving the ball, but you got to react. Right now, it looks like Lakers are in the zone right here. A lot of pointing, a lot of talking, but nobody moving. You got to dictate in the quarterback and talk. When you don't have LeBron James on the floor, you need somebody else to speak up. Dylan Harper draws 2, swings the ball, sees it as an overload. Harrison Barnes reads it. He goes to that corner where Luka leaves, overloads that corner for a wide open corner 3, knockdown shot. Now this is where it gets kind of ugly. Luka gets the spin move in the post, turns it over. You got to get back. Transition is where the worst in the league at right now. Luka's kind of complaining. He's not happy about it. Harrison Barnes is one of the last guys on the floor. De'Aaron Fox is a 2-on-2. LeBron stops the ball. Next you know, it's a 4-on-2 because nobody gets back. Harrison Barnes and Devin Vassell beat everybody down the court for a wide open dunk. These type of plays, you cannot allow to happen. They are cancerous. And this is where it starts, the losing, the effect of everything. So you let one rebound happen, you let a turnover happen, pick sixes, and you got to get back in transition. And that's where it all started for the Lakers in this game.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
I did not enjoy it. But you did a good job. You did a good job. That's what you do. Danny Green at the wall. More reaction.
Usually
frustration.
Usually he'll come out right before he even showers and everything. But tonight, I mean, we saw the turnover, you saw some of the frustration. The biggest thing for them is the transition. I think the transition hurts them because of the turnovers that they have. And, him trying to play at his own pace, he started off pretty well. That first quarter was nice, hit a couple threes. But got to give credit to San Antonio. He did a great job of playing without fouling Austin mostly. He got 14 free throws. But, he was really trying to force that issue and get to the paint. Took his time. That first half was pretty good. But, again, in spurts, it just looked bad for them. And that second quarter to start, that third quarter to start, too many turnovers for pick sixes. But Luka does what Luka did. I mean, he did what Luka does. And he has 35, 8, and 5. Again, we're used to seeing him light it up differently. It didn't seem as impactful.
Yeah.
But, he helped this group on the offensive end of the floor. But where it hurt them the most was defense and turnovers.
Yep.
Like, it's funny how Luka can have this type of stat line and it's still not be noticed. It's not the most important thing in the game. It's not a big factor. It's not an asterisk beside it because, as Dan just said, it wasn't like an impactful numbers that he had, and the way San Antonio was countering anything that the Lakers put up, even his 35 with fast break points, it just kind of deleted it. It just kind of deleted this performance. It wasn't like a dominant performance. It was a good stat line, but it didn't really have anything phase on the game that much.
When you're trading 2s for 3s, it kind of makes those 2s obsolete. He's great in the paint, 90% in the restricted area, but he's shooting 2s, and then Vassell, Champagnie, Fox, hitting 3s. Harrison Barnes is a barrage of 3s from the San Antonio side, which made Luka's 2s look very, like I said, obsolete.
Danny and James, we're always going to talk about LeBron and where he is and turning 41 and 23rd season. And are we starting to see him ramp up a little bit? If you just look at the last 2 games, we talked a lot in the pregame show about how incredible he was at the end of that road trip in Philadelphia. But again, if you're just watching him tonight, just in terms of the movement and the way he's getting up and down the floor and how he's engaged in the 15 rebounds and hustling at both ends and the monster dunk, the chase down block. I mean, Danny, is that the start of kind of LeBron coming on after no training camp, no summer?
Absolutely. I mean, after watching the Toronto game, I wasn't too confident of where his body would be. Now he's starting to get his legs under him more, starting to get in shape, starting to get that pep to his step, and he showed it in Philly, and he's kind of carrying over. And I think it's a win-win. It's a plus thing. It's a blessing in disguise that they're not going to Vegas. They're giving him some more rest time to keep him fresh. You need that for a guy that's 41 years old. If you want him to continue to make these type of plays and be a high IQ player and also carry the weight of the scoring load sometimes when Austin's having a struggle night, you're going to need a fresh LeBron James if you want to keep him blocking shots like this and dunking the ball. But you don't need him to do that. You still need him to play great team ball, but you need some youth, and he's the one that provides transition. They struggle on transition defense, but he'll provide some transition offense, which you need in this group.
I love that analogy, that analysis of getting some rest. I mean, sure, you want the money. I'm sure the guys would love to get that money if they could win, but they've already won it.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get a big advantage of getting that little rest and getting some practice time. So yeah, that's what you do. If you're not in the cup, you look at how you can take advantage of the situation. And I do think LeBron, he looked bouncy from the beginning. Like in the warm-ups, first couple of plays, you could just see,
a little sprightly
you just
out
see
there,
the little
like
bounce he had in him, right? So I think he's getting there. And, you know, we'll see eventually. He's solid.
It looks like we're used to seeing.
Yes.
That's what I think I like.
For what we've seen last year. But as much as he needed the rest, I think Austin Reaves needs it as well.
Yeah, Austin
he looks like he's a little, I wouldn't say struggling, but he looks gassed some, but more so just a mental reset. You know, he's taking on a lot of weight, putting it on himself.
As JJ
you know,
said, carrying us most of the way for 6 weeks.
So he's going to need this from not just a physical standpoint, but from a mental standpoint of just probably stepping away from the game, get around to golfing, and just, you know, putting his mind back at ease so he can get back to the old Austin Reaves that we've seen.
He looks
Big game. I want to show you this real quick before we get off the air. You know, it's a trend JJ and the guys we're talking about, and this is defensive struggles the last 6 games. And of course, this happens in the NBA when you're not, you know, a great defensive team from start to finish. There are those teams that just are built that way. The Lakers have had great defensive moments, but if you look at the last 6 games, you know, they're giving up 122 per game, and teams are shooting the lights out from 3 at 45%.
Yeah, not cool.
Missed some shots,
bro. Not cool at all. You know, the Lakers have so much firepower offensively. You see what Reaves has been doing, and Luka, and then most recently LeBron. Sometimes you win when you're not playing your best basketball. And they've been able to win some games without playing their best defense. So now they're getting exposed a little bit. You got to have the defense, man. You got to have it. Look at Oklahoma. Look at all the good teams. That's what they do.
Yeah, just need that sense of urgency when it comes to getting back and finding a guy in transition. That's would help them a lot if they can do that. I don't know if you guys heard, I forget what team it was, GTFB, get the F back. Like, they need some type of mantra to make sure that they're not only talking and moving, but making sure in transition they're limiting teams from getting out and running.
So Phoenix Sunday, am I solo Sunday? You're not. You're in Vegas?
Might be, man.
Yeah, I'm in Vegas.
For the Emirates Cup. They're
Don't
taking you
tell
out.
AJ.
Yeah, I think you're by yourself, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I wish I could.
You know what? We'll fill the chairs.
We'll get back. Yeah, we'll get back.
We'll fill the chairs. But Phoenix is tough, man. Booker or not.
They're another young
Saw
team.
what they did to the Lakers last
They like
time.
to get out and running. I mean, you see what Gillespie could do, Dylan Brooks, even Royce O'Neal. But Mark Williams is running the floor. They're bigs.
Yeah.
You got a team running like that. It's a youthful team.
Look
that
out
you have
for
to keep up.